Welcome to the Tuckcast with a splash of bourbon, presented by Tuckasegee Fly Shop, with locations in Bryson City and Sylva, North Carolina. Be sure to follow the crew on Facebook at Tuckasegee Fly Shop, Instagram at Tuck Fly Shop, and the YouTube channel Tuckasegee Fly Shop for the latest information and instructional videos. Be sure to visit tuckflyshop.com for all things fly fishing in Western North Carolina and beyond. Remember, the online store is always open. Today's episode is brought to you by Norvise. From their original 1970s prototype to their new legacy stainless steel vise, Norvise has been committed to one thing: efficiency. The company's long-standing slogan, "Tie better flies, faster," truly encompasses what the Norvise fly tying system does. The good folks at Norvise believe you deserve to tie your flies consistently and in less time because of the ease and benefits engineered into this outstanding tying system. For more information, visit www.norvise.com and check them out on YouTube to see how you can maximize your tying time by relying on functions and benefits of the tested and true Norvise. I'm Dale Collins, your host. Big Mess is out in the field today. We're here with Jack, Bobby, and our special guest, Tommy White. So, hey, Tommy.
Hey,
There's
Tommy.
What's up, Tommy?
Thanks for having me, guys.
We also got Shannon Bluetoothing in on the phone, so we're going to bring him in here real quick, too. So give us 1 second here, and we'll say hello to Shannon. Shannon, are you there?
I am here.
There he is. This is the first time using the phone, so this will be fun.
It's a great test.
Yeah. So Shannon is traveling on his big tour. So tell everybody where you're at and what you're doing.
I'm actually, if you really want to know what I'm doing, I'm standing at the end of the reflection pond here in D.C. looking at these mallard ducks just like feeding like crazy. I don't see any trout rising there.
Is that not just the best casting pond in the world?
It is like the perfect one. And there's not many people here. So as far as maybe trying to catch someone on a back cast, you're probably pretty clear today.
Cool. Well, that's fun. Go try it. You should have taken a rod and tried it. I bet you'd get ran off pretty quick.
Well, you know, on the flight here, Braden says, "Man, I should have brought my fishing pole. It breaks down into two pieces." And he was serious. I'm like, no, that probably wouldn't work. I don't know if we would have time to do that, but he was dead serious about bringing his rod, and I think I disappointed him.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, cool.
So we got a couple local happenings. I don't think we mentioned this on the last podcast, so I'm going to mention it real fast. The store in Bryson City, we now have it open on Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays from 10 to 2, and then Thursday, Friday, and Saturdays 9 to 5. So is there anything else that's kind of opened up, or anybody know? Tommy, you know anything that like people should know? Like, hey, this restaurant now lets you sit down, or?
I know Creekside's now open.
That's right. Yeah. See, that's a good one.
New restaurant downtown Sylva.
Yeah.
Yes, seafood.
Are they just doing takeout, or is it?
No, they've opened for
So you
customers.
can
Dude, have you
go
seen
in?
that parking lot?
I saw it the other night. I was like, man, if that's all
full.
takeout.
That ain't just the back patio.
No.
So Shannon ate there the other day, didn't you?
Yeah, we had some blackened tilapia sandwiches, some cheese grits, a few other things there, and it was quite nice. It was really good. I was really impressed with it. So definitely highly recommend it. Nice to have something like that downtown Sylva.
Yeah.
Another little, kind of little cap in the feather of our restaurant and food scene that we have there locally.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's good. Other big news: Blackjack's back. He was out for getting his shoulder better.
He's straight edge now.
Yeah. Yeah. So you still can't fish yet, right?
Still can't fish.
Yeah.
It'll be a while.
Gotta rehab it.
He can write the CFS up on the board, though.
Yeah.
Did you do that? You can get
I
your
did.
arm up that high?
Slowly.
Said-
I'd like crawl it.
He was like the itsy bitsy spider going up the wall today.
Well, there you go. So we got him back on the podcast, which is cool. We got Shannon. We got Mr. Tommy White here from our Trout Unlimited chapter. He is the president.
El Presidente.
That's it. El Presidente here.
By default. Your fault.
No, it's not his fault. It's not my fault. I don't know what you're talking about.
No.
So we appreciate you coming on. I think Tommy sounds like he's a little nervous. You just got to let loose, man.
Take a deep breath. Nope, you don't have COVID. Hey, Shannon, man, you'll be excited.
Right.
I tied 12 flies today with the Norvise.
And everyone he
Good for
tied,
you.
he's like, man, this thing's awesome. I'm getting better with this thing.
Yeah.
This thing's great.
It certainly takes time. That's the most important thing to that particular tying system. It's a paradigm shift if you've been tying on another vise. And I kind of feel like it's easier if you come into the tying game if you've not been on any other vise out there.
Oh, yeah.
But
I still let that bobbin, it sucked that thread in a couple times on me, man. That's the hardest thing about it. But I overcame it.
Good. And I think that's the key, as you mentioned, and for people out there that are listening that may be a little hesitant or intimidated by it, there's no need to be. Sometimes those challenges make us better in the long run, and I strongly feel like that's one that's just only going to make you better over time. And I think you probably will tell that as far as like traditionally wrapping your thread, you're going to have less fatigue in your shoulder, which will allow you to tie more flies over time. And you won't think much about it until you're like, oh, geez, man, I just tied like maybe 14 where I might have had like 8 tied.
Is that how you mess your shoulder up, Jack?
Too much fly time?
Yeah, probably.
Workers' comp. Claim Jack.
He doesn't tie at the shop. I know that. Well, that's cool. Yeah, no, you're totally right, Shannon. I'm really excited. I'm gonna have to get one here to put at the house. So
Cool. Yeah, we will. Once we get back, I think you laid the gauntlet out about doing like the 30-day challenge. I've been asked.
Today was day one.
I've been asked if we've got any footage of that, and I said nope. We've been fairly busy with trips and stuff there that we would certainly get it. So people have hit me up asking about it. So we got to.
Yeah, we got to do it.
30-day challenge.
Well, cool. 30-day challenge.
30-day challenge.
Good deal. Awesome, man.
Maybe we'll have the 30 days by Christmas.
That's it.
Oh no!
Do they
we'll
have to be
it by then.
consecutive?
Yeah.
I think we should get Tommy to join in on the 30-day challenge.
Oh yeah.
You like
that
to tie
actually
flies?
would be like just raw because you never tied a fly before, have you?
Never.
Oh yeah, you're
Perfect.
perfect.
I mean, y'all
Fresh
meat. Y'all sucked me into this. I don't know about.
Wow. Perfect. I would tell you. You remember last time we was here about all the squirrels?
Yes.
Oh, up in DC.
So we've seen black squirrels, and we've seen like one squirrel I thought was going to walk up to me. Alex just kind of gave me like the weird stare, like, dude, that squirrel's going to like freak you. And then we've seen like a gray squirrel with a brown tail, like a blonde tail. I mean, it's a fly tier's dream up here.
Yeah, there it is.
You know, if a man can go in here and set out some of those little wooden boxes we used to build, you know, with the little trip stick in them, you know, you're like,
Yeah.
you'd have all kinds of stuff. You reckon they'd notice that?
Probably.
I don't know.
All the
not bringing
tourists would walk around and be like, "What's that for?" They
Oh,
probably
man.
wouldn't.
I
know.
mean, Jack had somebody giving him the bird for torturing fish in Bryson City the other day, so I'm pretty sure somebody in DC would notice you trapping squirrels in the mall.
This is
They
true.
might.
That
They
is
might.
federal land too, and that's not allowed on the national park.
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Do you have a
Right.
trapping permit for that?
Well, you do get trapping permits for those
Well, for
people who
national
are
forest.
trappers.
yeah.
but your Park Service where you're at.
That's right. It is Park Service. Yeah, man. So squirrels are abundant and they're readily active and being real friendly to people. So, yeah.
Very cool.
They're like,
Protect your
they're
nuts
like
there,
partners.
Shannon.
What's that, bud?
You gotta protect your nuts. No,
Gotta
don't
say
come
it
and grab them.
twice.
Well, let me just say this: we ate the almonds on the airplane, Jack.
Yeah.
We ate the almonds on the airplane.
They gave you almonds?
I gave
Man,
it,
that's high dollar. That's not just
And they-
peanuts.
no, and then they gave us like those cookies too. You know,
Oh,
like
I love
real
those
good
airplane
cookies.
cookies.
Did you
I
get
know
ginger
you
ale
did.
or water?
No, they gave us. So as you walk onto the aircraft, they gave you hand sanitizer, and then obviously you got into your seat. You are spread out. At least our flight was spread out. And as you get to going, of course, and they start coming around with things, everything they give to you is in a sealed bag. So like
I mean,
bottle of
somebody's had to
water,
have touched it.
a bottle of water, another thing is sanitizer, almonds, and then those great cookies that everybody likes. So they give it to you in a sealed bag. And so we noticed that change. We did notice that also before anyone could board the aircraft, they came in and did a whole sanitizing process. They brought in a really, really large crew. and that's kind of why we were a little bit late leaving the tarmac because of them
Somebody
doing that.
sneezed on Road DC.
Got to do it all again.
Standard protocol right now. The Atlanta airport was quite full of people where Reagan National was not. It felt more like a ghost town.
Yeah.
Where Atlanta felt normal. And
we got weather coming in.
Yeah, and they entered phase 2 here today. So Hill Country Barbecue is opening, taking seated customers until 9
You're
p.m.
going there, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
You going there to
We
eat?
are. So not this evening, but we are. Hey, we got a squirrel right here. Look at him, man. Dude, he's like within 3 feet, man. Alex got up and moved. He's afraid of it. What's up? What's up, big boy?
So,
Dude, he's on the summit now. Look at him. He's
Stand
ready
your
to fly.
ground, Alex.
No, Alex hung out behind me.
well,
Dude, like he's ready to jump.
we got Tommy here to tell us all about TU because he's the most educated. No, the good thing is Dale's the previous president. Now we got the actual president, and Shannon was the previous vice president, right?
Yeah, I had to resign due to all the conflict with the Nantahala Gorge.
Don't open that
Inside
can of
joke.
worms.
Inside joke.
But
Right.
so basically, we just kind of want to jump in, let everybody know kind of what the chapter here does. So between the three of y'all, maybe myself, maybe Jack, we can all interject a little bit of stuff there. So Tommy,
What do we do?
what is the main focus of our local TU chapter?
Okay, guys, I appreciate y'all having me. I am new to this.
He's all professional.
Yeah, man. You
He's
got notes prepared?
Well, I wrote down our mission
Wait a
statement.
minute. For the record, this is the most professional I've ever seen Tommy. Like this is professionalism on display. I'm impressed.
Well,
Continue.
I used to have to pretend to be professional.
Fake it to make it.
Yeah, and I made it. So,
Oh, Lord.
so anyway, Trout Unlimited mission statement is the preservation and conservation of cold water fisheries throughout western North Carolina. And we serve Jackson, Macon, and Swain counties in our Tuckasegee chapter here in Silva. I'm real proud of our chapter. I got involved in it when I moved up here 5 years ago. It's a good bunch of guys that really just enjoy each other's camaraderie and telling fish lies and eating good food. And we invite anyone in the listening area that's in Silver on the first Tuesday of the month after this COVID
Yeah.
subsides.
At some point.
Yeah, TU stopped all our meetings back in March, and we usually take a break in the summer anyway, but we hope to gear up again here in September. But come out, we're real big into cleaning up.
Yeah, we usually have, 3 or 4 cleanups a year, give or take?
Yes, and we've picked up close to 10 tons of trash in the last 3 years.
Yeah, 3 work days, about 4 hours each. So 12 hours, we picked up 10 tons.
Which
It's mind-boggling.
is mind-boggling.
Yeah.
And it's probably my pet peeve. Moving up here 5 years ago from the Outer Banks to one beautiful place to another, it disturbs me greatly how people take just.
I mean, we almost got shot at over trash.
Well, we're not going to talk about that. But yes, we did.
It is serious.
It's serious. People take their trash serious up here, but yeah, I enjoy it, and I am looking forward to getting back with the university here. I'd like to get some more of the college kids involved. We've had them, they come hit us up for a free meal every now and then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
They're welcome.
But they come out and help pick up trash, too.
Yeah,
they
they-
come
Oh.
out in numbers, usually.
Yeah, those strong backs.
Yeah. Get those young people out there.
Absolutely.
I said, if you're from the college, get down the hill. It was about a 75-foot drop. Oh man,
It's down there.
Well, and I would add to that, Tommy, if anybody's up here fishing, October, November, December, and you're here on that first Tuesday of the month, you're certainly welcome to come to the meetings.
Please. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, come hang out, get a free meal, see what it's all about.
So, if they're interested in that, we do have a Facebook page, and it's Tuckasegee Chapter 373 of Trout Unlimited. And we meet the first Tuesday of each month at United Community Bank at 1640 Main Street, Silva, North Carolina. So please reach out, join us.
And
Absolutely.
you can always come by the shop and say, hey, are y'all having a meeting?
Yeah.
we'll usually know kind of what's going on for the most part.
Hey, Tommy, spell Tuckasegee.
Okay, so Shannon, I'm glad you asked that question because there are 3 ways to spell Tuckasegee, and our chapter spells it Tuckasegee.
What's interesting about that is that TU National has us listed the other way.
Like our name, like our fly shop's name with
Yeah.
2 E's.
2 E's.
4 E's, technically.
That's right. E, Tuckasegee, 2 E's, G, 2 E's.
Y'all are spelled like the post office Tuckasegee.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
The right way.
But that's what I'm saying. So somehow it's been converted over to
Manipulated.
Tuckasegee, E, whereas at some point when the got its charter, it was spelled Tuckasegee.
Right, and I've asked about that a little bit, and I can't get a clear answer on.
Yeah.
You just got it. He just told you.
Oh, okay. Well. So, I just want to say a few more things about our chapter
Go for
that
it,
we're
man.
real proud of, and Shannon's been instrumental in this. Is Trout in the classroom,
Yeah, that's kind of a big.
and if Shannon wanted to touch on that for a minute, that would be great.
Man,
Sure.
Great job delegating, Tommy.
Well, I mean, that's what you're supposed to do, right? You're supposed to delegate. That's what good people do.
I've never seen anybody delegate an interview.
Good quality people. Well, I think if you watch the press conference every day, you kind of see it, and that's quite entertaining. But there's another squirrel. There is
Squirrel!
ADD there.
Squirrel man. But we really got to lay the groundwork back to Larry Tucker and Craig Forrest for the Trout in the Classroom project. For those folks that really got it started, back earlier, and certainly having the one classroom at Cullowhee Valley, but with the support of several people, I mean a lot of people, members, people who are not members that have come to fundraisers, volunteered time with egg pickups and delivery and setting up tanks in a school. We certainly now have 6 Trout in the Classroom programs between Jackson and Swain County. And, that's a pretty big growth in 2 years. And that's
4
not a
years
cheap
ago, we
thing
had
to
1.
do. So that's not a inexpensive undertaking to take when you set up a new school. When you set up a new school, you're looking at about $1,500 for chiller units, filtration system, tank, chemicals, things like that.
Shannon, are you safe right now?
I hear the sirens.
Oh, no, I'm cool. I'm cool.
Are you running from them? Or
No, man.
Hey,
no,
are you trying to
I'm
trap a
scouting
squirrel?
No, I'm scouting out new water. We found some new water, actually. I'm not joking. We found new water. It's kind of like a place where you think like a shady CIA deal might go on or something.
Oh,
like
you're over
that.
there by the river.
So Jason might be here somewhere, and I might get the chance to meet Jason more. But on a serious note, the thing about the Trout in the Classroom program that I found that I didn't expect going into it is the impact that we have on the students who are never exposed to any outdoor activity. They've never had a chance to go fishing. They've never had a chance to go hunting. They've never had a chance maybe go on a hike. And you see them react to this program so positively. And it may pave the way for them to say, hey, look, I might want to be a biologist or a scientist or a wildlife officer. So added to the fact that you're educating these students on clean water, not only how it affects the trout, but really more importantly, how clean water is important to us as a society. If we can't have clean water for trout, we can't have clean water for us to drink and have other needs out there met.
Make beer.
And so from that standpoint, this program really expands beyond trout. And I think the value is actually even greater than what we as chapter members really look at this program. And just seeing that firsthand actions out of the students, it really just it carries so beyond the classroom environment. And we may never know the impact that we might have on one student that may change their life for the positive, to where they might buckle down and study a little harder, and they may go down that science path or whatever, 4 years down the road.
That's right.
So
it's a great program.
Any of y'all can answer this. I'm going to pose the question, so I'm not going to be the one for somebody listening to this right now that doesn't know what Trout in the Classroom exactly is like from start to finish. What happens? How's it work? So they kind of know the system, real brief in like 2 minutes.
Cool.
What is kind of that?
So Trout in the Classroom is where we set up, or the school sets up a 55-gallon tank, and they create a habitat for the trout, maintaining water temperatures between 50 and 55 degrees, maintaining the right chemical balances. And the NC Wildlife, along with our state chapter Trout Unlimited, provide us eggs, which come from the Setzer hatchery. We deliver those eggs to the school usually in September, and they go through the various life cycles until we're able to release those trout, hopefully in the spring. And we had one school this year who actually had quite a bit of trout to release. It was unprecedented times, of course, but it was cool to see how many trout that actually had. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. That's their babies. That's their surrogates, as some of them call them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's a great program for kids to kind of see how they start, how they finish up, the environment they need to live.
So Shannon, what age group kids are normally participating in this?
Tommy, it really varies. Mostly we're seeing middle schoolers and up, just due to the fact of water changes and some of the physical activity. But it can be done with elementary age kids. When I say elementary, it could be younger students in the school. And I can tell you that on some occasions, and Dale can kind of vouch for this too, that at Fairview, some of those younger students have had chances to go by and see those tanks that are in the 8th grade classrooms out there. So they kind of feel like they're somewhat a part of it. And I think in the future, if they could have their way, they would like to have one like in each pod out there, which would spread it out across ages. But typically it's usually middle school age and up through high school, just due to some of the physical activities of water changes and those type things.
Sure.
So obviously the tanks and stuff get set up, and I mean, I know how all this works, but I'm asking these questions so that the listeners know. How is everything funded? Like, where does the money come from to buy the aquarium, to buy the chiller, to all this stuff, so that people can learn how that's done and maybe even donate to that cause?
Well, we have been fortunate in our chapter to have some great people help with some fundraisers, such as the Fly Fishing Film Tour that we've hosted locally for a couple of years, and then a few grants along the way there. And then just people doing other stuff in the chapter, coming to the meetings and partaking in some raffle events as well. And that's one of the primary ways that we fund it. It's a big financial investment from our chapter. And fortunately, we have board members and we have members in the chapter who feel like it's worth every penny of it. But it is not cheap. And if there's any listener out there who wants to help with that particular program, we're always willing to take able bodies and get involved with it. It can be very rewarding, but you can get involved financially or also manpower or a combination of both.
Yep.
And Tommy might be able to maybe give you a little bit more detail on if you want to do some kind of financial contribution or something to the chapter. But we would welcome that. It's not cheap. The state's not paying for it. It's coming from us, the members of the Tuckasegee Chapter and friends of the chapter that's made this program happen and grow.
And time of the teachers, too.
Yeah.
Time of the teachers. There's a lot of back-end things that people don't understand that we could spend 2 shows on. But it takes the administrators in the school, and it takes the hard work of the teachers to make that program happen.
So where if somebody wanted to reach out and say, "Hey, I'd like to give $10," what's the easiest way for them to do that, Tommy?
They can get up with me through our Facebook page, and I'll be glad to reach out to them. I really want to stress about people move to a new area, and this is an area where a lot of people are moving to, and they don't know how to get involved and volunteer, or maybe they want to learn how to trout fish. And they're not sure where to start. And certainly they come into your store is a good place to begin, but they can come to our meeting. Friendly bunch of guys, everybody's going to welcome you and hopefully give you some pointers. And if we have any retirees that are retired school teachers or scientists or they want to get involved, I really invite you to reach out to us and join our club. It's once a month. It's all volunteer. We eat good. We usually have a great speaker. That's one thing we try and focus on, is having a really good speaker. It's just a good place of camaraderie. It's one of the few places in the world in this time where there's not a lot of politics. We talk about fly fishing.
That's it.
And so that's a great way to social distance these days.
Yeah, and it's a good way to just if you moved here, you meet people that say, "Hey, I'll go fishing with you. I'll show you where to go."
Community.
Yeah, and you can go out with a couple guys that know the area and go fishing with them and all that, and learn some stuff and learn where to go and where not to go.
Absolutely. It's I've been here 5 years and you look at me, I'm already president of the TU Club.
So you act like you've only been in this area 5 years, but you went to college here back in the 40s, right?
The 80s. Yes. My wife and I are both Western Carolina University graduates, and our daughter is also, and her husband are both Western Carolina University graduates. And being from the Outer Banks and raised my family out there, and about 5 years ago we moved up here, and we don't regret it. It's been very, very rewarding.
Yeah, and you live on the river.
I live on the Tuckasegee.
Yeah,
I've pulled up to his house for a beer
by boat.
We've
By
done
boat.
that. That's right. We've done it.
Yeah.
We've done the pull up by the house.
Tommy, do you live in a van down by the river?
That might have been when I was in college, Shannon. I've graduated to a log home on the river up here now, and so.
Cool.
Well, the chapter, just kind of quickly going back to that, it's come a long ways since you've been up here. I mean, I can remember when went to a few meetings, and it was just to be very blunt here, it was the old man's dinner and raffle club.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all it was. There was no action.
Now, not to take away from any prior people.
That's right. That's right. But I think a lot of energy had been lost, and I certainly experienced that. As I think Shannon and I were in the leadership for a year or two longer than what TU recommends, and so I was just kind of getting burned out with it all, and so we kind of got, I wouldn't say we got sleepy, but I think energy slowed off. We saw some of our numbers drop, and then Tommy willingly stepped up, so pretty stout competition there for the presidency.
Yeah.
Ran unopposed,
and then COVID hit, so we had.
I think I begged you actually.
Yeah, you did. And
you're like the 42nd person we asked.
45.
And there's
just call me 45.
Oh man!
But,
I thought the campaign movie was based off Tommy's presidency run for TU.
Yeah.
Well, fish more, fall down less is our motto.
There you go.
We hope to bring it back with a lot of fun and again good guest speakers, and we want to make sure that all the I'm sitting here at Tuck Fly Shop, but as the new president, I love these guys, Dale and Bobby and you and everybody have been very good to me up here, but there are other services up here and we want to make sure that they can participate in our Trout Unlimited organization. And so, reach out to me if you have any questions, comments. We also, while I'm on it, is, we've had a lot of sediment problems up here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. That's what I want to talk to you about.
Like construction runoff.
Yeah.
Let's just be blunt.
Oh,
We know where it's coming from.
Oh, it's been awful.
Yeah.
Now, we've had rain like I've never seen before in my life up here.
Yeah.
But the sediment, and I think with as many eyes as we have out there, fishermen and some other organizations, the water organization and a few more, we really tried to hold their feet to the fire. It's been difficult. It's been a challenge. Working with Diener and to get any kind of
there's just so many agencies involved that it's always tough to.
And they're over
politics inside those agencies. It shouldn't be political.
And they're over in Asheville, and they have like one guy working.
Yeah, like 9 counties or something.
All of Western North Carolina.
Yeah.
And but yeah, back to what Shannon was saying about clean water for the fish and clean water for us. It's that has been a challenge up here. Trash and sediment runoff have really surprised me.
So this is something I actually don't know about the chapter. I know Trout in the Classroom was the focus for like the last 2-3 years. What's kind of the next thing? Is it about sediment, or is it going to be like we're always going to do cleanups and things like that? But what's kind of been the talk of the next focus?
Besides having a meeting,
yes. Is there anything kind of in the works? I know like trash cans on the Tuck have been mentioned, and
they have
things like that.
We're working. We have a good working relationship with the chamber and the town and the county here. And down there on River Road on the DH section, there some landowners have proposed some bathhouses and
people, some of those like
facilities,
kind of a greenway also through there. I don't know. That's Dale, you live down that way. That's the default bypass of.
I'm also on the Webster Planning Board now.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
He's been sworn in,
and I'm on the Jackson County Planning Board.
There you go.
So maybe we can.
Tommy trumps you, it sounds like, in a way.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. 45.
45. I'm the biggest. It's Bigly.
Bigly. We don't need any COVAFests. So the greenways part of it, we actually talked about that the other day. Is kind of a long-term vision along there. But I think the biggest thing for the Tuckasegee on South River Road, not so much North River Road, because that involves a little bit less municipalities than the South River Road because of the Webster. It's an actual town. It's the town of Webster, ETJ. It gets into all kinds of crazy things here, but there are entities within Jackson County that advertise this stretch of water, and obviously it gets fished a lot, but we're not getting any help logistically on how to handle 100 people on a Saturday in April fishing that water.
When you got cars and all that stuff.
And bladders.
Yeah.
And
so,
and to market ourselves, we are, and I think the legislature designated us as Jackson County as the trout capital.
It's North Carolina trout capital. That's
Carolina trout capital.
Yeah.
So, yes, there's a lot of traffic on that road. It's a beautiful stretch of river, but when you're out there fishing and you got the dump trucks coming, to which,
hopefully they'll stop with that new bridge built.
Yeah, then and it goes back to the sediment thing. There's been so much construction going on up here. I think that's going to slow down in the next 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe the road traffic there will slow down a little bit.
And it sounds like we're really bashing the Tuck here. Let me be clear. We took last May a year ago, we took researchers from Middle Tennessee State down the Tuckasegee from the East Fork Dam all the way down into, I think they went all the way to Barker's Creek. And the water quality was really good.
Yeah.
Like surprising to me, given the sediment, given the trash, the water quality was in really good shape. So that's at the heart of things, really good to hear.
The Tuck flows. When they release those dams, it flows pretty good.
Yeah.
And it flushes out.
That's right.
Good.
That's right. So, I don't want to get too carried away on
but we have
negative
to protect
things.
That.
That's right.
That's the whole purpose
how
of it.
How does sediment hurt, though? Can you go into that?
Oh, boy.
Did you practice that one?
I didn't practice that one. So, again, being fairly new up here and really just getting into fly fishing again just 5 years ago. It from what I'm learning, it infects the hatch and the insects, and therefore it's a chain reaction.
That's right.
To what the fish eat and what eats the insects and all the way up the food chain.
Yeah, it affects the birds if there's less fish. If
Oh,
they don't have a food source, then the birds don't have food.
well, the birds are eating fish in front of my house.
The
every
Eagles
day.
will be getting more cocos,
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
Steve Keeble said.
Oh man.
The otters there are eating. You know, everybody's eating fish.
Hide your cats, hide your dogs.
So
When the Eagles start getting your cats, that's when you know the fishing's tough.
oh my goodness.
Oh, I mean, even the amount of parking lots being built over in Cullowhee, is a problem.
Yeah,
I
because
mean,
you're talking
runoff.
water temps.
So,
Could go up.
this afternoon it rains an inch. A parking lot fills up, and that water runs off. It goes straight into the Tuck, and that water, what's the surface temperature of a parking lot, Bobby?
It could be 150 degrees easy.
All right, so it gets cooled off by, let's say, 65-degree water hitting it as a raindrop. I mean, so it's maybe 85, 90 degrees going into the Tuck.
Yep.
So that's a huge problem.
And trout need a temperature.
Right around 50. What is it, Shannon?
I think they're happy between 50 and 55. That's what we
Yeah.
keep our tanks in the classroom. That's what they recommended to set their hatchery.
That's right.
I think we know that those trout between 52 and 58 will put on a great aerial show when you hook into a good rainbow.
Yeah.
And they're healthy when you release them. So that 50-degree temperature in there was good. And I think you hit the nail on the head, all y'all, is that the Tuckasegee is a great river system. And in some ways, a monster has been created, but addressing issues one at a time, such as sediment, construction practices, traffic, maybe some restroom facilities for the ladies out there, most importantly, we'll even take it up to a whole nother level. We know how many people are coming to this county to enjoy what we take for granted in some cases. But if we take that up to the next step, that water is going to provide so much more for everybody, more so than it is now. And we know what kind of impact that has on all of our lives and other businesses around us. And I think those are the topics that Tommy's trying to hit on right there with
Yeah.
these,
Absolutely.
the latest things. And I think we can't lose sight of that. And there are simple things that people can do, such as, potentially writing letters to folks that are developers and other things like that, some citizen science programs, sediment
Eco-activism.
monitoring, things like that. That takes some manpower and volunteer time, and that's what the TU chapter is all about.
Yeah.
Great. Thanks for summarizing that for us, Shannon.
No, that was good.
That was good.
What's crazy is I love how mad you get about the set. No, Tommy will call me or send me a Facebook message. I'm mad as you know what, and nobody can do anything about it. But I think the thing is how preventable it is with the sedimentation from construction.
Absolutely.
Talk a little bit about that and what the chapter's.
You're baiting me again. Dale likes
Dale's trying to get the rise.
Yeah,
Blood pressure's going up over here.
he's throwing a dry fly out there trying to get me to rise up and take the bait. Yeah, no, there was just astronomical lot of construction going on in the Cullowhee area this past year. And I think some contractors from out of the area were not familiar with the topography up here and how much rain. We basically live in a rainforest.
That's
Yeah,
right.
absolutely.
And we got an unusual amount of rain, but even so, there were sediment control measures that certainly could have been handled better
Or existed.
and again, not bashing anybody because our county does a phenomenal job of trying to enforce this. But on some of these state properties, the state has jurisdiction.
Right.
And again, we go
That
back.
muddies the water.
It muddies
It
the
does.
water. So
There's
again,
just too many people there.
we go back to you got one person in Asheville, and we have a rainstorm over here, and it's all he can do to get over here and see it. But it was disturbing. But all these projects are hopefully the ones we're talking about right now should be wrapped up here in the next month.
Mm-hmm.
And we have seen them really do a better job.
Yeah.
And that's from our efforts and some other organizations, and the county putting some pressure.
Flattening the curve.
We are flattening the curve. We just hope we don't have a second phase of it.
That's it. So let's do a fishing report.
Yeah.
So who wants to sing the jingle, Jack?
The fishing report.
CD keeps skipping.
Good job. So fishing's been still pretty good. I mean, the overnight temps helped because we had that one hot spell a couple weeks back.
That was bad.
But
It got tough in the afternoon.
Yeah, we finally got some 50s there for a good week or so, and we've had rain.
We've had rain. Ultimately, a lot of rain can warm the water too. So you don't want too much of it. And as that water gets muddy, it can also heat up. You're kind of watching that right now on the Tuck. If you're, Duke Energy gave us friendly waiting conditions yesterday and this morning. So, if you're out there on the Tuck, catch them quick, release them quick. Certainly some topwater stuff happening, and the creeks they're real nice.
Yeah, all spring
all
fed
day
stuff
long.
is good.
Especially Tommy's favorite up there. What was the name of it?
Yeah, what's your favorite creek?
I can't recall.
It's good. I mean, you go to any of these creeks, just go ahead and start with a dry fly. Somebody, can't remember who it was. Maybe it was a post that Jack put up on social media about, if you're really wanting to work on your dry fly game, let's say maybe you're going out to Montana or going out west somewhere, and you really need to hone in on your timing of the hook set. Now's a great time to practice that on our water. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, getting out on the small streams. Those fish are pretty active right now, so it's a good time to hone.
What would you start with?
Oh man, I'd go with like a Royal Coachman or something like that.
Oh,
something easy for me to see.
I go with that stimulator with those rubber legs.
Yeah,
that
a little bit of crystal. Don't forget the Crystal Flash, Shannon.
That stuff has been awesome.
When you tie up that next dozen for me.
What did you say about that crystal? Crystal Flash?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, man. Now,
Enjoy that monument.
It's right. Actually, we're looking right at it, man. It actually is quiet here and it cools. It feels like a good time to be outside with the fly rod.
Well,
So if I was home right now and I was somewhere, don't forget about the Tuckasegee, even though delayed harvest is over.
Yeah, it's been fishing good still.
In the evening times, I'm getting reports. I'm getting my messenger lit up with pictures of fish taking top water out there, and sometimes good size, and sometimes good numbers, and sometimes a combination of both.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think that fishery is somewhat written off this time of year, but with the cooler temperatures we've had and stuff, it's still fishing pretty decently, and it's a perfect place to practice for an upcoming trip out west to Tuckasegee Fly Shop. Don't you think?
Yeah,
There you go.
that's right.
it.
That's right.
Awesome. Yeah.
Tommy, anything to add up? Fishing report?
I mean, you said you guys had a decent day of a couple days ago in the evening? It was on the Tuck.
It was on the Tuck.
It was in the evening, right?
Yeah, a
It
little
was
further.
over there by Creasy Bridge.
Creasy.
It was a little south of Cullowhee, just out there anywhere on the public waters
On the 50 miles. It's good.
Yeah,
50 miles of river.
No,
you
we
can
were
find it.
we were wet waiting, throwing dry flies, like you said. It's wide open. You're not going to get caught in trees or And they were hitting top water.
Yeah.
You know.
Here it is, man. Well, we appreciate you hanging out with us today.
Well, thank you.
I know you didn't know what to expect from the podcast.
I didn't.
You did a great job getting Shannon to do half the interview for you.
Yeah, that was awesome, man.
I told you I like to delegate.
It was great. Shannon, man, we
There you
appreciate you taking a little time out of the vacay there to talk with us
man.
too. So
Yeah,
thanks,
man. Absolutely.
thanks for doing
Yeah.
that. And
Yeah.
I guess we'll let Dale just shuffle his papers. He's ready. He's ready to do the closeout. here.
I'll take us home, boys.
He's ready to take us home.
Hey, Dale, was you out of breath, man?
So yeah, we did 2 takes. Bobby, there was some button he had to push.
I forgot to push a button. We had to start over.
I think the record button. But yeah, man, I had to take a deep breath. It got me out of breath going here. So
Very good.
yeah, let me get the lungs clear here.
All right, man.
Well,
Good
Shannon,
deal,
man,
man.
we appreciate it,
All
buddy.
right, boss.
We'll talk to
Yeah,
you
man.
later.
See you guys later. Take
See
care,
you,
man.
Shan, dog.
Tight lines.
All right, let's try to close this out. Let me get on the right thing here. I'm doing 2 machines here, which is awesome.
Hey, don't forget tuckflyshop.com for online store. Shoot us an email, info@tuckflyshop, all that good stuff. Hey, special thank you to Norvice for making this episode possible. The good folks at Norvice believe that you deserve to expect consistency and efficiency out of your tying system. When tying on the Norvice, you'll quickly see the benefits of tying flies while physically spinning the vise. This is a remarkable feature that I strongly recommend watching on the Norvice YouTube channel. There are a lot of great rotary vices on the market, but the only Norvice has the spinning thing that's on the hook. That's phenomenal. I love it. It's hot. For this reason, it's been said that Norvice is the most innovative fly tying system on the market. Never again do you have to wind the slack thread onto your bobbin spool. The Norvice Auto Bobbin, which I'm falling in love with, does the work for you. For more information, visit www.nor-vice, that's V-I-S-E, by the way, .com, and check them out on YouTube and see how you can maximize your tying time by relying on the functions and benefits of the tested and true Norvice.
Awesome, man. Well, guys, we appreciate everybody listening. And
Yeah.
Dale, what's the last thing? You always say it to Marvin.
Oh, tight lines, everybody.